After cross-gem fusion was outlawed by Homeworld, every gem in existence wanted to try it out for themselves. Every single one of them.
Fusion is just a cheap tactic to make weak gems stronger.
That's the problem with you fusions. Sooner or later, you will become sentimental.
Is that it?
Just a second.
So this is what Homeworld thinks of fusion.
Cross-gem fusion was basically called out as being a huge no-no by the Diamonds because it promoted chaos within a society where everyone was literally made to fit into their own predetermined roles.
Whoa. What's that?
Full disclosure, fusion has had multiple different interpretations on the show in itself. For some characters, fusion was a way of acting on their romantic feelings for one another. For others, it was only a means to an end. And according to a decent portion of the fandom, fusion was the Gems' version of doing the deed.
One word: sex. Fusion in all forms of the word is just that. Sex between gems.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Now, in the defense of fans with this headcanon, every time that the gems fuse on the show, they dance. Very provocatively, for no other reason other than the fact that they want to.
When we synchronize our forms, we can combine into a powerful fusion gem named Opal.
Nope, gems can also fuse by hugging, standing on top of each other, and just by making the slightest bit of contact. So that just raises the question, why do the crystal gems dance to fuse if they don't need to? Well, I don't know, but I think I found a way for us to find out the answer.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
The general consensus within the fandom is that the crystal gems developed fusion dancing on their own as a means of differentiating themselves from Homeworld, which makes sense. One of the first things that we learned about Rose Quartz was the fact that her absolute favorite hobbies were singing and dancing, and leading Pearl on, but this is not the video for that. Circling back to our original discussion of gem fusion representing something more adult. The dark implications behind this headcanon makes the arc where Pearl tricks Garnet into fusing with her over and over again much worse, and I really don't like it.
It's just so much fun being sardonyx with you.
God damn, girl.
Remember that during this arc, Pearl was still deeply troubled about losing Rose Quartz, so it would make perfect sense that this was her way of dealing with the fusion aspect of her trauma. And that's not me justifying Pearl's actions, because she was definitely in the wrong. But I just don't think that the writers intended to teach kids about one of the darkest lessons out there when they set out to write this arc.
No, we just needed a reason to fuse.
This is low even for you!
Now, one of the actually most disappointing aspects of fusion on Steven Universe was the way that the series chose to handle their fight scenes. The vast majority of the battles featuring fusions on the show were given some of the most bland choreography that I've ever seen, and worst of all, they never felt like we were watching the characters fighting at their fullest potential. We all know what these characters are capable of individually, so why do they seemingly get weaker when they fuse?
I can't wait to tear you gems apart!
All talk, no action.
Ironically, one of the best fusion fight scenes went down during the series' official run of comics. Created by Rebecca Sugar herself, Steven Universe issue number 18 not only blessed us with a rematch between Steven and Amethyst, but we also got an all-out epic battle between Stevonnie and Opal at none other than the Sky Arena. The comic issue opens inside of the temple with Amethyst making one of her most elaborate sandwiches yet, when Steven and Connie excitedly get ready to enter the next stage of their training with Pearl. Amethyst surprisingly gets invited to tag along with the group by Pearl herself, and she reluctantly accepts. After everyone warps to the Sky Arena, Pearl lets Amethyst know that she planned on teaching Steven and Connie alongside her this time, because of her incredible success in helping both of them progress so quickly during the Jasper Beat City attack and the first Smoky Quartz incident. Pearl decides to give Connie a private lesson, allowing Amethyst to do the same with Steven. But once Amethyst realizes that she didn't really have any lessons to teach Steven, she instead opts to have another one-on-one fight with him. Amethyst opens with a classic spin dash attack, but Steven, ready to handle her trick this time, dodges every attempt from her to steamroll him. Amethyst, noticing just how ineffective her ground attacks became against Steven, leaps into the air while summoning two weapons, whipping Steven with her first one, leading to him blocking it with his shield and grabbing his leg with the other. Steven, thinking fast, summons his bubble, a move that instantly saves him from being at the mercy of his teacher. This causes Amethyst to congratulate him a little bit too loudly, which disturbs Pearl and Connie's session. After the first round of training, Pearl, losing a little bit of faith in Amethyst's approach, decides to switch partners with her, leading Amethyst to opening up to Connie about her clear lack of teaching skills. Connie lets Amethyst know that Pearl gave her books to catch up on during the previous session, and Amethyst actually decides to read them with Connie as part of her training. When Pearl and Steven get back, everyone decides to take a short break, and fascinatingly enough, Pearl opens up to Amethyst about not being sure about her own teaching strategy either. Steven and Connie reassure their teachers that they were both doing a great job, leading Pearl and Amethyst to combining their teaching strategies and challenging their students to an all-out tag team fight. Back at the temple, Garnet, catching onto the concerning incoming battle using her future vision, instantly decides to warp to the Sky Arena, preparing to intervene if a tag team match went too far. So the fight begins with Amethyst and Pearl trying to quickly take down their students, but Steven and Connie both successfully block their sneak attacks, or so they thought. Thinking quickly, Steven summons his bubble again, this time around Connie too, dashing across the stadium in order for the duo to recover Connie's sword. Steven and Connie, being overly excited at how great they've been working together in the match so far, leads them to accidentally fusing with each other. Amethyst and Pearl, seeing the perfect opportunity to take their students' training to an even greater level, decide to form Opal, leading to one of my favorite fusion fights in the entire series. Opal aims one of her Omega arrows directly at Stevonnie and fires at full power, but misses because of Stevonnie's incredible speed and acrobatic skills. Stevonnie, now airborne and with no way to dodge any more incoming arrows, gets another Omega arrow fired at her from an extremely focused Opal. A deadly barrage of arrows lands all over the Sky Arena, but Stevonnie, quickly summoning their shield, blocks all of them that were fleeing their way. After crash landing into the Sky Arena at full speed as a result of blocking Opal's arrows, Stevonnie sneakily summons a spiky bubble from inside of a massive dust cloud surrounding them, rushing out of it at Opal and landing a perfect blow to the stomach, completely knocking the wind out of her before she was able to fire any more arrows. Opal, being outplayed, admits defeat, leading Garnet to finally revealing herself and congratulating Stevonnie and their teachers for the amazing training session. The team, satisfied with their newly found knowledge, along with Steven and Connie working up a bit of an appetite, leads all of them to going out for Cookie Cat. Can I tell you guys a secret? While I was doing research for this video, I kind of lost myself for a few days trying to figure out the height of Obsidian, and I still don't know how tall she is.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Yeah, that was the first thing I tried. Nobody knows how tall Obsidian is. Why does nobody know how tall Obsidian is? My search for the truth began where most of our worldviews are shattered, Reddit. I stumbled upon a post claiming that Obsidian was revealed to be approximately 206 feet tall by the Steven Universe wiki. In fact, a staff member of the wiki would soon debunk this postful. Digging deeper, I learned that the only time that we've ever gotten a confirmed height in Steven Universe has been Steven's own height all the way in Steven Universe Future as a result of his medical report. This gave fans an unconventional yet reliable unit of measurement to finally be able to calculate the heights of our favorite fusions, the Steven. Sardonyx is 3 Stevens tall, Sugilite, Alexandrite, Blue and Yellow Diamond are all 8 Stevens tall, and Obsidian, well, we don't really know how many Stevens tall she is, because for one, Steven is a part of a giant woman. Fusion was always one of the main attractions on Steven Universe, and it worked extremely well to solidify a lot of the relationships of some of its greatest characters. Who knows, maybe if Rebecca Sugar was actually given more time to work on the show, we could have gotten better handled fight scenes, or maybe even a canon explanation as to why the Crystal Gems always chose to dance to Fuse even when it wasn't necessary. As it is, Fusion did serve its intended purpose, and while we didn't get to see every gem fuse, the fusions that we did get were all extremely meaningful.